How difficult was life as a Christian in Roman times? The conflict between Roman and Judeo-Christian ideologies resulted in a series of significant events in ancient times. Christianity, which initially faced persecution, eventually gained widespread acceptance within the Roman Empire. However, the experiences of early Christians during this period remain intriguing. How did they navigate life in Roman society? What obstacles did they encounter? The expansion of Christianity is greatly attributed to the presence of Roman roads. These roads, spanning a vast empire, enabled early Christian figures like Paul the Apostle to traverse and disseminate the gospel message. The Christian message of hope appealed to many facing social issues such as poverty, and these roads facilitated its spread to major cities. The Bible does not state that Jesus ever referred to his followers as Christians. Instead, his disciples identified themselves as saints or affiliated with the Way. The term saints originates from the Greek word hagios, meaning holy or sacred. On the other hand, the Way refers to the Hebrew concept of halakha, a set of guidelines for Jewish living. It's not until Acts 11 verse 26 that we find a reference to Christians, when the leaders at Antioch use it to describe the followers of Christ. It reads, "The disciples were called Christians first at Antioch." Jesus, a Jewish man, primarily taught Jewish individuals, yet his teachings attracted a following of Gentiles, non-Jewish people, too. Not adhering to Jewish principles, many who came from a pagan background decided not to follow dietary restrictions. Furthermore, non-Jewish males were not subjected to circumcision. Over time, these regulations and customs of the Jewish community became more lenient with the emergence of early Christianity and the growing number of Gentiles embracing the faith. The persecution of Christians in ancient Rome occurred in different periods. 12 out of the 54 Roman emperors who reigned from 30 CE to 311 CE persecuted Christians. Emperor Nero, depicted in the picture, was particularly known for his extreme ruthlessness. Nero blamed Christians for the Great Fire of Rome, resulting in their brutal deaths as punishment for this catastrophe. Christians faced persecution over centuries, being crucified, burned at the stake, and even thrown to the lions. It wasn't until Emperor Constantine's conversion in 312 CE that maltreatment ended. Early on, physical Christian churches did not exist. Assembling for worship took place in the homes of individuals. Paul the Apostle refers to gatherings hosted by a couple named Priscilla and Aquila in Romans 16 verses 3-5. He mentions this concerning a specific example. In previous times, being a Christian was synonymous with being socially ostracized. They would form tightly knit communities where Jews and Gentiles coexisted as devotees of Christ. Early Christians in ancient Rome redefined the concept of community by committing themselves to aiding the impoverished and the needy, while also engaging in study and worship. Although Gentiles constituted a significant portion of early Christians, they experienced a sense of inferiority compared to Jewish followers. Peter the Apostle's decision to separate himself from Gentiles, under the influence of religious leaders, was disapproved of by Paul the Apostle, leading to a heightened tension between both. Galatians 2 verses 11-13 reads, "When Cephas came to Antioch, I opposed him to his face because he stood condemned. For before certain men came from James, he used to eat with the Gentiles. But when they arrived, he began to draw back and separate himself from the Gentiles because he was afraid of those who belonged to the circumcision group. The other Jews joined him in his hypocrisy, so that by their hypocrisy even Barnabas was led astray." In ancient Rome, being a Christian proved challenging, especially as persecution was rampant. Many Christians faced the imminent threat of martyrdom. Renowned martyrs of the Christian faith include Paul the Apostle, who was executed by beheading, and Peter the Apostle, famously crucified upside down in Rome. While their names may not have been recorded in the Bible or any other texts, some individuals sacrificially gave their lives in devotion to Christ. There was controversy regarding certain matters due to the relatively short existence and untimely demise of Christ. This encompassed discussions about low Christology and high Christology. Simply put, low Christology argued that Jesus was a sinless human being, nothing more and nothing less. Conversely, high Christology asserted Jesus' divinity as part of the Holy Trinity, offering an alternative perspective. During his time, Jesus engaged in discussions and debates with several Jewish leaders. However, despite initial tensions, Jews and Christians generally lived harmoniously under the Roman Empire. Around 192 CE, Emperor Septimius Severus initiated the persecution of Christians, subjecting them to torture and death in gladiatorial games. By 202 CE, it was prohibited for Romans to embrace Judaism or Christianity. Those who opposed the emperor faced consequences such as savage animal attacks, beheading, and burning, among other penalties. Christianity gained legal recognition in 313 CE through Emperor Constantine's issuing of the Edict of Milan. This development was certainly positive for Christians as it put an end to their persecution. However, it also posed new challenges regarding the organization of the religion and the selection of rules to be followed. As a result, certain Christian groups faced exclusion, with some being labeled heretics and losing their legal standing. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. By doing so, you'll be the first to know when we release new videos. And the best part? Subscribing is completely free.